Hello, class. It's Lori. I'm responding to the question, how has a manager kept you engaged in your position? And if not, why? Um, I thought about the question. I think the most engaged I've ever been in a job has been the last position that I had in an inpatient rehabilitation hospital. And when I got to thinking about why, what got me engaged, um, there were several things that I was able to sort of list out. So the main thing was I had an outline of responsibilities of what I needed to do with my patients. So the constraints were there was a time constraint involved and there were goals that needed to be achieved. But going from point A to the end point and how the steps in between, that's where I was allowed to have the creativity to design a treatment plan and implement that to reach the desired goal. So it tapped into creativity and innovation because the stakes are high, but your desire to do the best that you could for your patient was also high. And that led to a lot of brainstorming with other clinicians and trying things for the sake of seeing if that would help a patient to make an improvement. So it really tied into that creative side. The other part that really kept me engaged was that I had amazing resources and a facility to draw upon. So if you have all these resources at your disposal, it enables you to pull on all of those things to do a better job, basically. And in the case of where I worked at this hospital, I was able to use things like an indoor swimming pool to do that sort of therapy. We had body weight supported treadmill. I mean, the latest technology, um, facility to practice every kind of thing that a patient might need to do at home. So that was just a great resource and a facility to draw upon that really got me engaged in my job. Uh, Probably the last thing, and then I'll just go over quickly like a pro and a con, is projects. Things that were both assigned to me and also things that I was able to volunteer for. So the things that were assigned to me necessarily wasn't something that I chose, but it was usually group projects or a team working on a specific goal that made the job challenging and interesting, forces you to collaborate and problem solve with other people, and then voluntary projects that you took on yourself to meet your own personal goals, but also your performance goals for the company. And so those could be tailored to my clinical interests, things that I wanted to do. An example would be that I took extra education classes to treat uh, urinary incontinence and pelvic floor dysfunction in a geriatric population and was able to actually utilize that and start a pilot program at the hospital where we implemented those ideas. And that was something that was a special interest to me. It was something that I was one of the kind of co-leaders of the project and a great thing to keep somebody engaged in their position. The pros to that are that your job is never boring. When you're able to tap into your creativity, when you have great resources and you have the ability to work on projects that interest you, you're never bored. You have any variety of things that you can do. And I don't think my profession or my job is boring to begin with. The con is that you can get overcommitted and burn out. So when you have so many responsibilities weighing down on you. But overall, a great thing to think about what got me engaged, and I'll keep that in mind if I'm ever in a management position in the future. But anyway, that's my answer. Thanks for listening.